Just as the young girl lifted the toilet lid, ready to use the bathroom, she froze in horror. Something eerie was staring right back at her. Later, when another woman finally worked up the nerve to open the lid, they both discovered the shocking culprit, a massive lizard lurking in the toilet bowl. A TikTok user named Achayo55 shared a strange and eerie video in June 2023 that has left viewers scratching their heads. In the clip, they and a friend are hanging out in what looks like a park, just casually enjoying their time. Everything seems totally normal until suddenly the uploader lets out a shocked noise and quickly zooms in on something in the distance. At first, it's easy to miss, but once you spot it, you can't unsee it, and it's definitely unsettling. A small figure appears to creep out from behind a wall, moving in a way that has sparked all kinds of speculation. Many people believe it resembles a pombero, a mythical creature from Paraguayan folklore. In Guarani mythology, the pombero is a small humanoid being said to have a habit of capturing ungrateful girls and forcing them to kiss it. A pretty disturbing legend, to say the least. Let's just hope this pombero wasn't up to anything sinister that night. Unfortunately, we'll probably never get a clear answer about what was really caught on camera, so for now, it's all up to speculation. This wild encounter kicks off with two kick streamers walking into a Walmart and doing something absolutely insane.
Mine's not sporting. Oh shit, oh shit. No, just do. You want my sport? Wait. Get it. No, what does that mean? Wait, no. What happened? Get it. No.
Out of all the bad ideas they could have had, they chose this, lighting fireworks inside the store. It doesn't take long for Walmart employees to step in, confronting them about what they just did. And at this point, you can see the regret all over their faces, but the damage is already done.
Get it. No, get it. Put it down. I said, get it. Oh shit.
Instead of doing the responsible thing and helping put out the fire, they make an even worse decision. They run. A TikToker recently shared some jaw-dropping dashcam footage that captured a family's shameless attempt at insurance fraud. The video starts off like any ordinary drive, when out of nowhere, the car in front slams on its brakes, forcing the driver behind them to react quickly.
One hand on the... What the fuck? Oh my god!
But just when you think that's bad enough, the situation takes an even crazier turn. The car suddenly shifts into reverse and starts backing up right in the middle of the road, clearly trying to stage an accident.
What happened, babe?
Oh my god, what is he doing? Babe!
Babe, what happened?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Babe.
I got into an accident. Oh my god. Oh my god,
Where are
babe.
you?
I'm on the Bell Parkway. This guy just reversed into me. What the hell is going on?
Reversed into you?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, fuck, I'm shaking.
Oh my god. Babe.
Yeah.
Just stay there. Oh my god.
Fuck, oh my god.
Where on the Bell Parkway?
The audacity of the whole setup left viewers stunned, with many calling it one of the most blatant scams they had ever seen caught on camera. A while back on the USS Eisenhower, a shocking accident showed just how dangerous life on an aircraft carrier can be. In a video of the incident, a crew member walks past a jet engine but forgets to duck. Big mistake. The sheer power of the engine pulls him straight into the air intake. It's the kind of nightmare scenario that could easily be fatal, but somehow, against all odds, he survives with nothing more than minor injuries. This eerie video comes straight from France and was uploaded by a woman named Denise Pylon way back in July 2015. At first it seems like just another ordinary day, until something absolutely terrifying happens out of nowhere.
Vraiment fatigant là. Je vais appeler maman. Olivier? Oli? Olivier? Oli? Ah! Oli? C'est vraiment pas drôle là. Je vais appeler maman. Maman? Maman?
As you watch, a series of bizarre and unexplained events start unfolding in Denise's kitchen. Objects move on their own, things go flying, and the whole scene feels like something straight out of a horror movie. You can hear her heavy breathing as she stands there, completely frozen in shock, unable to do anything but watch in horror. Whatever is in that kitchen doesn't just seem angry, it almost feels like it's toying with her, feeding off her fear. It's an incredibly unsettling clip to say the least. Strangely enough, this was the only video Denise ever uploaded to YouTube, and since it's been nearly a decade with no follow-up, it's unlikely we'll ever get any answers. So what do you think? Was Denise's kitchen really haunted, or was this some kind of elaborate hoax? Subscribe if you think it's haunted. A man is casually walking down the street just going about his day, completely unaware that in mere seconds, things are about to take a terrifying turn. Before he even has a chance to react, a large group swarms him. He is completely overpowered, unable to fight back or escape. But the real question is, what do they want? By the time he comes to, it's already over. Dazed and shaken, all he can do is pick himself up and walk away. This girl clearly had no second thoughts before going on a rampage. First, smashing a train, then turning her attention to the car of the person recording her. To top it off, she even climbs onto the side mirror, completely unfazed.
Go ahead. Keep going. 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 Keep breaking it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Retarded. Retarded.
Honestly, we have no clue what led to this or what her reasoning was, but it's hard to imagine any excuse that would justify this kind of chaos. Coastal brown bears are absolute giants, weighing up to 1,200 pounds. If one of these beasts shows up at your front door, well, good luck. In this particular bear, it's not here to make friends. With its massive front paws planted firmly on the ground, it's sending a clear message: stay back. But when the tourists ignore the warning, the bear decides it's time to take things to the next level. Some people just can't handle rejection. Take this guy, for example. After getting turned down by a girl, he completely loses it. When the girl's friend steps in and pushes him away, he pauses for a second, like he's deciding his next move. Then out of nowhere, he reaches into his bag and pulls out an axe.
Nah, I ain't gonna front. He look like he about to get. I said it.
Bro, please, go, back up.
What happens next is straight out of a nightmare. He starts threatening people and trashing the restaurant.
Yo, tell, he gonna tell you. You better tell, boy. Yo, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. I got the grip. Oh, you got the grip. Now who's the bit? Now who's the bit?
Sheila, that's why I keep my knife on me all the time, man. Shit like this, you never know. I know, man.
Yeah, the craziest part? Most people just stand there, watching, laughing, and even recording instead of stepping in. It seriously feels like something out of Black Mirror. At one point, he even gets right up in a girl's face, brandishing the axe, before slamming it into the table in front of her. Absolutely unreal. On January 7, 2018, Reddit user Bachian320 posted about a bizarre radio signal on 96.7 FM near Beaverton, Oregon. He described eerie repeating sounds and strange voices. At first, people assumed it was just radio interference, until more listeners reported the same thing. Portland. The sounds kept changing. White noise, strange tones, and even distorted speeches from MLK, JFK, and the Apollo 11 mission.
The 60-second mark on the Apollo 11 mission. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60.
Reports of these broadcasts dated back to 2017, lasting until mid-2018 before vanishing without explanation. A distorted call sign in one of the recordings led to KZRY-LP, a station owned by the Community Alliance of Tenants, a non-profit focused on renters' rights.
KZRY-LP.
When question, the group denied any involvement, but many suspect they deliberately air the creepy broadcasts to attract attention. While the group never admitted to it, online sleuths believe it was a publicity stunt. Today, 96.7 FM is just another rap station, but for a while, it was one of the weirdest mysteries on the airwaves. In a shocking accident caught on camera in Tamil Nadu, India, a woman was left seriously injured after a speeding car hit her, sending her flying through the air. The incident happened on April 27th in a local road district, and the footage is nothing short of terrifying. The impact launched her nearly 20 feet from where she had been standing, leaving her with severe injuries to her head, shoulder, and wrist. She was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but despite the severity of the crash, she miraculously survived and is now on the road to recovery. This next video, uploaded to TikTok in January 2025 by a user known as AmoroSomX1, starts off as nothing out of the ordinary. It's just some home security footage showing a woman sitting in a chair, gently rocking back and forth. A few moments later, she picks up her baby and cradles it lovingly. Just a quiet, everyday moment between a mother and her child. But in a matter of seconds, the video takes a chilling turn.
El portón. Miren, ahí está observando, ahí se asomó algo. Vean eso. Vean lo extraño que el color de piel que tiene eso, vean. Y mi hija ahí está alterada y si se dan cuenta, no deja de mirar hacia el portón. Vean, mi hija está mirándolo. Ahí se volteó y eso se desvaneció.
Out of nowhere, something eerie happens. A strange, pale figure suddenly peeks over the fence, its gaze seemingly locked onto the woman and her baby, while they remain completely unaware. Just imagine how terrifying it must have been for her to later watch this footage. Realizing that something or someone had been silently watching them is enough to send shivers down your spine. Unfortunately, we never get a clear look at the entity, making it impossible to say exactly what it is. Its intentions, a complete mystery. But one thing's for sure, let's just hope this young mother and her baby never had to encounter it again. Things take a dark turn when a drug dealer's mother gets kidnapped by the syndicate. The tension is palpable as the situation unfolds. Just when you think you're about to see what happens next, the clip abruptly cuts off, leaving us all hanging. What happened after that, we may never know. McDonald's has seen its fair share of shocking moments, and here's yet another disturbing one. Back in 2022, security cameras at a McDonald's captured a terrifying scene: a man trying to run down a woman with his car. In the footage, you can see the guy crash his car straight into the restaurant's glass while chasing her. But he doesn't stop there. He jumps out of the car and keeps going after her, even turning his aggression toward the manager at one point. After a tense 5 minutes, he finally gets back in his car and speeds off. Turns out, the woman was his girlfriend, or at least she used to be. He was convinced she was cheating on him and had allegedly been threatening to do something like this if she refused to take him back. Absolutely terrifying. The video captures a truly heart-stopping moment as a massive truck comes barreling down a winding mountain road, swerving out of control before disaster strikes.
You for later. Later. Oh. Lôi.
As the vehicle picks up speed, it begins to wobble dangerously, spilling its heavy cargo onto the road before veering off course and tumbling violently down the steep slope. It's the kind of scene that makes your stomach drop, leaving viewers bracing for the worst. But in a miraculous turn of events, both the driver and the passenger somehow survive the terrifying ordeal, walking away from what easily could have been a fatal accident. This eerie dashcam footage from Korea, uploaded to YouTube by Byung-in Kim in October 2020, was captured from two different angles, one facing forward and the other looking back. At first, everything seems completely normal as the uploader drives down a quiet highway late at night, but in just a matter of seconds, they're about to witness something truly chilling. Out of nowhere, a strange figure suddenly appears in the middle of the road, almost as if it materialized out of thin air. The front-facing camera captures the figure seemingly appearing in an instant, while the rear camera shows it lingering after the car has passed. It's an absolutely terrifying sight for a few reasons. First, the figure is barely visible until the driver is almost right on top of it. Second, there's no telling who or what this entity is or what it wants. And third, it's a haunting reminder of just how unpredictable life can be. If nothing else, this video is a stark warning to always stay alert when driving, because sometimes the unexpected is lurking just up ahead. After months of suspicion eating away at him, this guy finally decides to follow his girlfriend when she says she's going out. What he discovers leaves him stunned. She's checking into a hotel with another man, but it's what he does next that's truly shocking and downright disturbing.
Who it is, man? Everything straight?
I put them over in them.
What's going on, man?
What
the hell going on?
Yep.
Oh, somebody in the car. Oh. Hey, man, what the hell?
He's gonna be riding under the ride with the boat.
Y'all straight? Oh. What the? Bro. What the hell? Oh.
Thankfully, despite how dangerous the situation gets, no one ends up getting hurt. For a lot of people, McDonald's is a go-to spot, a familiar place to grab a quick meal. But one woman took that comfort to a whole new level when she decided to treat it like her own personal kitchen. She casually walked behind the counter, made herself a sandwich, grabbed a drink from the fridge, and even put together a full meal like she was on ship. She didn't stop there. She even helped herself to dessert. Of course, it didn't take long for security to step in. Safe to say, if you're in a hurry for food, waiting in line is probably a better idea than trying to serve yourself. While on vacation, a woman came across a lost toddler. At first, she thought the child was a little girl, wandering dangerously close to a busy road with a large canal nearby.
Yeah. So nobody found you?
No, I've been with her for over an hour.
Do you know where you found her at?
By walking towards the street. I was out running and I noticed her and I was like, this does not look good. And she I asked her where her parents were, and she said she didn't.
You found her.
I don't have anyone available in the area right now.
I'll show you exactly where I found her.
26, there's no rush on it.
And my daughter said that she saw her walking around over there.
Call 24/5. What's next?
The child's diaper was filthy, and when the woman asked where his parents were, he simply said his mom was asleep. She knocked on the doors he pointed to, but no one answered.
Still got her.
I'm going to try and just make contact so we can't find a parent real quick. If not, I need to get a written statement from you, just where you found her, just kind of describing it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you calling us in. I'm sorry you're kind of put out on your vacation for it.
I mean, I'm glad I found her.
Obviously, if she's been with not care,
She's been with me a while.
I get sometimes kids wander off, but a parent should be already calling us.
How you doing, man? Sorry to bother you. You didn't lose a child, did you?
Did I what?
Do you have any children?
She's 35.
Okay.
34.
Okay. So no, you're not missing any children or anything.
He's coming. What is this? That's mine. Is it mine? That's mine.
What happened?
We found a child, walking around.
Oh, the little young boy. The little long hair.
Yeah.
Isn't here in the second floor. I saw him. Antonio, ya te llamo porque
live
aquí
here?
está la policía.
Where does she live?
Yeah. And mire, she live in that room.
That one?
In that apartment.
That girl? The little girl?
Yeah, es boy o quiero. Yo no sé because she's got a long hair. ¿Quién got a long hair?
Eventually, an officer located the right house. But here's where it gets even worse. The child's mother acted as if this kind of thing was no big deal, almost like it happened all the time.
Are you missing a child?
He did not. Where is he?
He's safe.
Okay.
He's been gone a couple hours.
My son?
Yeah, a little over an hour.
He unlocks the door, but he never does it.
Well, he was found walking by the road on the next parking lot of apartment complexes. Somebody found him there with him for about 25, 30 minutes, called us.
Jesus.
And now it's been over an hour. Yeah. Are you by yourself here?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other children?
No.
Okay.
It's my only child. He, like I said, he knows how to unlock this, but he never does it because why would you walk outside? I'm surprised he got through these stairs.
Well, I don't want to be like, I don't want to beat you up too bad, but I'm glad nothing else happened.
Yeah, no, this will drive me crazy.
Well, while we're talking to you and all that stuff, I mean, they have chains that go higher.
This has one, and this part, I need to get this door part.
When deputies asked when the toddler had last eaten, she casually said he'd had some cereal the night before, meaning he had gone all night and most of the next day without food. A quick search of the home revealed open alcohol containers, doors with no child locks, and an overall unsafe environment. Things took an even darker turn when the mother admitted that just a few days earlier, she had tested positive for meth, alcohol, and THC. At that point, officers had seen enough. She was arrested for child neglect, and the Department of Children and Families stepped in to take custody of the child.
All right. So we go to this car over here. There's nothing on you, right? Because anything I don't find, if they find it at the jail, it's going to be an additional felony charge, okay?
Okay, but I don't do anything.
That's okay. It's just, as you're getting ready to go back in the backseat of my patrol car, I got to ask.
I just fell asleep. I just slept.
Okay. Again, no narcotics on you or anything like that?
No, I don't have anything.
All right, if they do find it at the jail with their scanners, it's a felony charge. So now's the time to tell them.
I don't do anything.
Okay.
I don't do anything.
All right. Have you taken any alcohol or narcotics in the last 24 hours?
No.
Because I don't want you, if you need to go to the hospital. Okay.
No.
All right, are you not pregnant or anything like that?
I'm not pregnant, no.
Okay. All right, I'm just asking. Hang tight for me 1 second. All right, she's gonna take a seat back there.
This bizarre video started making the rounds on social media, showing a McDonald's fry wiggling around like a worm. Naturally, people had all kinds of wild theories. Mutant fries, hidden worms, you name it.
Active and very social. This one keeps trying to get away.
Now, we can't say for sure if this fry is actually real, but one thing's certain, if we ever saw our fries start moving, that'd be the last time we ever ate McDonald's fries. What do you guys think? Is this living fry legit, or is there some trickery going on? On September 8, 2010, a Reddit user named I Wish I Was a Meme made a post in R Gaming asking for mod recommendations for Oblivion. At first, the replies were normal until a user named Yay Video Games joined in. His first comment started off fine, suggesting a popular mod, but the first two sentences made no sense. The uninstall button, the game is great and all, but god is it hard to fully remove all the junk it leaves behind in your system. When someone asked, what? He doubled down with an even weirder response. The uninstall button, the game is great, Ubisoft goes teamwork bye bye, always on DRM, over and over, each time in a different format, bold, italics, caps, camel case. He even linked to unsettling images, the strangest being a white surface covered in his cryptic phrase. After nearly 4,000 posts, he was finally banned. People speculated, was he a troll, a bot? No one got answers, because before anyone could figure it out, he deleted his account and vanished. That is, until Reddit user SoLegitHS decided to investigate. He discovered that Yay Video Games had 3 other accounts. No substance here, vinyl record, and not sure how big you are. The last one seemed to be his main account, where he shared personal struggles. Turns out, he wasn't a troll, he was a man in pain. He suffered from severe chronic illness that left him in constant agony. His mental health had also deteriorated from medication, leading to the manic episode that made him infamous. Tragically, in early 2015, he took his own life, unable to bear the suffering any longer. Never stand under a heavy load, because when things go wrong, they go really wrong. A worker, unfortunately standing right underneath a suspended load, had no time to react when it suddenly gave way. In an instant, the massive weight came crashing down, trapping him beneath it. You won't believe one of the wildest things ever streamed on Instagram Live. Rapper MOP lights up a blunt and just loses it, going on a long, unhinged rant.
So, when we get on here and do our research, Shine,
he's jittery all over the place, and get this, he's speaking in full-on Shakespearean English, just to avoid saying anything incriminating. But even with the old-timey talk, he's not holding back.
Video of me thy hoe that you kiss thy every night. It hit different, Shine. It hit.
The chat is losing it. Half the viewers are cracking up. The other half are genuinely worried for his well-being.
Bitch that you kiss every night. And that will hit different, Shine.
It's funny, it's bizarre, and it's got everyone wondering what is going on with MOP. What started as just another ordinary day at this gas station quickly took a terrifying turn when a flash mob stormed in and wreaked havoc. Gas stations are frequent targets for robberies. They handle a lot of cash, stay open late, and often don't have the strongest security. This time though, the destruction was on another level. By the time it was over, the damage totaled more than $100,000. Ever wondered what it would be like if 850 McDonald's locations suddenly shut down? Well, that's exactly what happened in Russia. When McDonald's announced they were closing all their restaurants in the country, people rushed to get one last taste. The hype was so real that massive lines started forming. Seriously, have you ever seen so many people waiting just for a burger? At a high school in Medford, Oregon, a gym roof came crashing down, and the whole thing was caught on video. Footage from inside the building shows the terrifying moment the ceiling gives way under the weight of a massive snowstorm. Experts estimate there was around 700,000 pounds of snow piled on top before the collapse. Luckily, disaster was avoided. A crack in one of the trusses was spotted earlier, prompting an evacuation, so no one was inside when it happened. Definitely a close call. A guy in a black hoodie storms into the restaurant, demanding wings. When the staff refuses to serve him, things escalate fast. He ends up getting chased outside, where he throws down with one of the workers. After taking a beating and bruising his ego, he decides to make a dramatic exit, hopping into a car and speeding off.
Oh, dash.
The terrifying moment sends everyone in the restaurant scrambling to get out. The next video shows a truly terrifying scene. Several people getting swept away by powerful floodwaters, dragged straight into the underground parking lot of an apartment building. The shocking incident happened on July 1st, and watching it unfold feels like a harsh reminder of just how ruthless Mother Nature can be. Honestly, doesn't it seem like she's angrier than ever? With natural disasters becoming more and more frequent across the world, it's hard not to feel a little shaken. A lot of people start their mornings by turning into the news, catching up on current events, the weather, politics, and more. But one thing you definitely don't expect to see on your morning broadcast, something that looks straight up otherworldly. The video in question was posted by Wavy Atlian on the High Strangeness channel and shows someone recording their TV while watching a morning news program. The anchors are discussing Israel, seemingly unaware that something bizarre is unfolding right behind them. It happens so fast that if you're not paying close attention, you might miss it entirely. Take a look.
Is this shit? Look at that. Of the incoming projectiles were intercepted. What the is this shit? Look at that. Of the incoming projectiles were intercepted. What the is this shit? Look at that. Of the incoming projectiles were intercepted. What the is this shit? Look at that.
Out of nowhere, a strange, shadowy figure suddenly flies past a building and vanishes, never to be seen again. It's the kind of thing that seems almost impossible, yet there it is, caught on camera for everyone to see. Some people in the comments couldn't help but compare it to Dementor straight out of Harry Potter. And honestly, once you pull up an image and compare the two, the resemblance is uncanny. So what do you guys think? Could something supernatural actually be lurking in the skies over Israel? Or is there a logical explanation we just haven't figured out yet? Either way, this is one mystery we may never get a clear answer to. The next clip drops us inside a jail control room. A man sits behind a row of computers, watching the security monitors in front of him. Everything seems normal until one of the computers suddenly starts acting up. The weird part, his hands are nowhere near the keyboard, so who's controlling it? Then one of the big screens flashes orange, and he just sits there, confused. Before he can react, another screen starts blinking red. At this point, it's clear the system's been hacked. Panicked, he scrambles to call for backup. But before we see what happens next, the camera suddenly shifts, zooming in on the jail compound outside. Who's behind the camera, and what are they trying to show us? This next video is a wild one, just gotta warn you. So this guy starts explaining how a marriage didn't work out. Actually, 2 marriages didn't work out. And somehow, that led to his uncle becoming super aggressive. Sounds confusing, right? Yeah, don't worry. It'll all make sense soon.
Aku tak nak buat disclaimer apa-apa lah. Sebab budak ni pun tak apa-apa nasihat. Pasal dia, yelah, ada sekali tu kahwin tak jadi. Yang kali kedua tu tunang tak jadi. Yang kali ketiga ni arak-arak jadilah. Mal, Angka nampak mata kau tu nak. Mal, waktu makan jangan lompat nak. Jadi boy yang normal boy. Tanda-tanda bahaya ni kalau muncung dah separuh naik. Mal, makan Allahu Akbar, subhanallah. Dia katuk belah tepi ni tadi. Demam telefon uncle. Mal, telefon mahal nak sekarang. Ambil ekor kau jadi beg kulit gang. Buat modal gantikan telefon. Waktu makan boy. Jangan senyum-senyum. Boy, makan saja. Nah. Tadi telefon Mal, tadi telefon Mal. Sekarang tangan kau ya. Berapa kali dah kau nak makan elok-elok. Subhanallah, bismillah dulu nak. Allahu Akbar. Bagus anak uncle. Hari ni makan 8 nak. Alang-alang dah jadi kangaroo, hari ni makan banyak-banyak Allah. 3. 4. Okay.
Here's the twist. His uncle is actually a crocodile. Yep, you heard that right. And this croc, beyond aggressive. Not that he really needs to say it, considering the thing tries to eat him multiple times in just a few minutes, while also jump scaring us in the process. That said, the guy seems weirdly chill about it, like this is just another day at work. Anyway, hopefully the clip makes more sense than my attempt at explaining it. In May 1, 2016, Reddit user Sparta213 posted a simple request. He was looking for a game similar to Harvest Moon but with a dark twist. What started as an innocent search quickly took a turn for the bizarre when he described what he remembered. The game starts with you and your wife. One night you get into a fight and end up stabbing her to death. From there you have to farm to stay alive while keeping the town from finding out. Cops come by to search your house every now and then, and you have to hide her corpse. A farming sim with a murder cover-up? People were both disturbed and fascinated, and the search for this mysterious game took off. Most assumed it was some obscure flash game, and entire subreddits formed, with thousands of users dedicating hours to tracking it down. Some even claimed to remember playing it, like one user who swore it was on his old laptop from the early 2000s. Except, every supposed lead turned out to be a dead end. For 5 years, the mystery remained unsolved, until one user finally cracked it. Turns out, Sparta213 likely misremembered a clip from YouTuber Varg Skeletor Joel, Vinesauce, who had joked about a similar concept in an animation.
honestly, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like Harvest Moon, but with like corpses. It sounds like that'd be a fun game, just playing as Harvest Moon, but throughout all of the gameplay, you gotta hide a dead corpse. You know what? No, you know what it is? Harvest Moon. It's just regular Harvest Moon with your wife, and midway in the game, you have an argument with your wife, and you accidentally kill her with like a. You kill her with like a barbecue kebab rack. Like you impale her accidentally, and you're like, oh, I didn't mean that. And at the same time as you gotta like manage your farm, you know, raise your chickens and milk the cows, you also gotta like hide the body from the cops sometimes, from health security checks, and
In the end, the lost game never actually existed, and after years of searching, the truth was both a relief and a huge letdown. At a steel manufacturing plant, a heavy lifting operation took a terrifying turn. The crane was holding a massive metal component when, out of nowhere, the sling snapped. In an instant, the load came crashing down, sending shockwaves through the facility. This next clip is going to be music to some of your ears. No need to say thanks. Why? Because there's a huge snake, a massive one. It looks like it's eating something, though honestly, we couldn't tell what. But let's be real, whatever it is, the house officially belongs to the snake now. No sane person is sticking around after seeing that. This group of friends was going off in the car, singing at the top of their lungs. They were belting out "Set Fire to the Rain," which, in hindsight, was a pretty ironic song choice when one of them decided to literally set fire to something. They lit a piece of paper, held it up, and, well, things escalated fast.
That's it.
How does it stop? Said I set fire to the rain. Watch it burn inside. Watch it burn. Oh, shit! I'm fucking doing it! I'm trying to fucking do it!
The flame caught onto the car's roof, spreading quicker than anyone expected. Panic set in instantly. The two people in the back seat managed to scramble out right away, but the driver and front passenger, they were so freaked out they couldn't react fast enough. By the time they tried to move, the fire had already taken over the entire car.
Oh my God, look at that head!
In the summer of 2018, a group of friends in Clark County, Washington, headed to Molten Falls, a popular swimming spot with a bridge towering 60 feet above the water. Every summer, locals gather there to test their bravery, daring each other to jump. And since there were no actual laws against it, they didn't think twice about ignoring the warning signs. That day, Jordan stood on the bridge with her friends, hesitating. She wasn't sure if she wanted to jump. Some of them encouraged her, trying to build her confidence. But then out of nowhere, her best friend Taylor, who was sitting right behind her, shoved her off the edge. Jordan had no time to brace herself. She fell completely unbalanced, face first into the water, and when she hit, it was bad.
3, no, I won't go in 2.
Well, she's saying no.
No, I just...
Ready? Oh, that's so...
Hitting the water from 60 feet, even for trained professionals, is extremely dangerous. Jordan ended up with 6 broken ribs, a punctured lung, and severe bruising all over her body. The moment she surfaced, her friends knew something was wrong. The case blew up nationally, and Taylor got a lot of media attention. In interviews, she apologized and said she regretted what happened, even mentioning that she wasn't allowed to visit Jordan in the hospital. But at the same time, it was clear she was enjoying all the attention. Jordan and her family wanted accountability, so they took Taylor to court. Taylor eventually pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment, and aside from Jordan's physical injuries, she also suffered mentally, developing PTSD from the whole experience. She even needed her mom's help to explain the emotional toll in court.
The injuries I faced were 6 broken ribs. I had punctured both my lungs. I had a hematoma behind my throat. I had torn my muscles in my rotator cuff, which reflected in the dropped shoulder, and I had very bad bruising all throughout my body.
I'd like to sincerely apologize to Jordan Holgerson, her family, and friends for the pain and humiliation I have caused by my mindless action that occurred last summer.
The defense pushed for no jail time, but the judge didn't agree. Taylor was sentenced to 2 days in jail and 38 days of community service. As for Jordan, she made a full recovery, and despite everything, the bridge is still a local hotspot every summer. Another call. Out of nowhere, a fire extinguisher mounted on the wall suddenly drops, and suddenly the whole room fills with a thick cloud of smoke. You can't even see the people inside anymore. That thing went completely rogue, and if it had actually hit someone, yeah, that would have been a very bad day. This video has been blowing up on Chinese social media, and it's easy to see why. It shows a few people fishing by the river. The real kicker? The footage was recorded by someone right there by the water, giving it this intense, almost first-person perspective that makes it even creepier. Some say it was a flood, others think it was just a powerful tide. Apparently, some rivers in China can do that. Whatever it was, it looked downright terrifying from this angle. But here's the wild part. There's actually another angle to the same event. Take a look. Still scary, just a little intense. Though, real talk, how long do you think that guy was stuck up in that tree? This jaw-dropping video comes straight from Tyumen, Russia, on a day when the wind was absolutely out of control. The storm was ripping through the city, but what happened next is straight-up nightmare fuel.
Блядь! О! Ты сбила на километр, убьешь нашу, блядь! Ё-моё! Ёбана, блядь! Да не ори! Ёбаный, блядь! Все погибли, мужики, блядь! Ёбаный в рот! Ёбана, погибли, блядь! Лёха! Ёбаный! Живой, по-любому живой! Ё-моё! Чё такое, а? Вован, наверное, погиб, блядь. Ёбана, блядь. Ёбана, Вован, всё, наверное. Давай, уйдем отсюда, то. Бля, Вован, наверное, погиб.
The wind was so bad that massive construction cranes started tipping over, with the operators still inside. Authorities had put out weather warnings, but for whatever reason, this construction site didn't take them seriously, and, well, it ended badly. One crane operator ended up in the hospital with some serious injuries. The good news? We got an update, and it looks like he and everyone else made it out alive. This intense encounter kicks off when a group of men surrounds a police car, completely blocking traffic. The officers inside try to de-escalate the situation, but things quickly spiral out of control. The Despite their efforts to avoid a confrontation, the group suddenly turns violent. After launching a brutal attack on the cops, they wasted no time making a run for it, managing to escape before they can be arrested. In January 25, 2015, Reddit user DiscoGodfather6922 posted a video in the Salt Lake City subreddit of a bright green building labeled Funtime Kid Care. The catch? He lived across the street for 5 years and never saw a single child. The fresh paint, old signs, and boarded up windows only made it creepier. The post went viral, sparking internet detectives to investigate. Days later, Disco Godfather returned with an update. Suspicious activity. He saw a camo tarp, a mystery man, and a pizza delivery ignored, only for 2 kids to be let in minutes later. Suddenly, theories exploded. Was it a drug front, money laundering scheme, or something even darker? Then came Deathship, a Redditor with a military intelligence background. Warning, stop looking into this place. Soon after, Disco Godfather got anonymous threats. Delete your posts. Stop asking questions. We know who you are. Things escalated when users linked the daycare to a shipping container from China, fueling human trafficking rumors. But in the end, just paranoia. Official records confirmed Funtime Kid Care was a safe haven daycare for at-risk children, which explained the secrecy. The daycare had once thrived but declined after 2006. With reports of neglect and mismanagement under owner Richard Joachim. He kept it running until his mother took over in her old age. Richard passed away in 2023, but the building still stands. Its legend, now an overblown internet mystery, with some even dressing up as the daycare for Halloween. Cargo this tall and heavy isn't something you should handle alone. It needs a forklift or at least 3 people to do it safely. Rushing in without the right equipment or enough hands, that's just asking for trouble. Safety first, always. CCTV footage captures a jewelry store clerk getting ready to open up for the day, but instead of a normal morning, things take a terrifying turn. In a matter of seconds, a group of robbers storms in, taking full advantage of the store's valuable inventory. Jewelry stores are prime targets for criminals since high-value items are easy to grab, conceal, and resell. Despite security measures, the thieves managed to clear out everything on display before making their getaway. Reddit user NoSignal1over137 recently shared a strange and unsettling discovery over on the Internet Mysteries subreddit, giving us some backstory before diving into the footage itself. Here's what they wrote. Last night, my friends and I were scrolling through my old YouTube channel. We decided to watch my very first video, First Person Flips on Trampoline, and that's when we noticed something I can't explain. There was someone sitting cross-legged behind a table near my trampoline, with the table blocking their face. The thing is, I distinctly remember being outside alone when I filmed this. I know, super cliche, but here's where it gets even weirder. When I pan toward that spot, there's this dark shape that moves upward. On top of that, my screen turns blue whenever the camera faces that direction. It could just be bad camera quality, or maybe it's something in the background. Luckily, I still have the original video. If you're skeptical, just watch it. They then linked the clip on YouTube.
This is called a backbone backflip. But what you do for this, you jump on your back. You jump onto your back and then do a backflip. All right, here we go. All right, so I did that. All right, guys, that was it for now, and
So did you guys see it? If you look closely, there's definitely something or someone there. Some commenters think it could just be a reflection of a person the uploader didn't realize was nearby at the time, but others believe this could be something much stranger, maybe even supernatural. What do you guys think? Did it just be an unnoticed friend or family member? Or was something way creepier happening here? Working at McDonald's isn't always just flipping burgers and taking orders. Sometimes, things get downright chaotic. In this wild video, filmed by a customer, a guy completely loses it and starts wrecking the service counter.
You're taking the money out of the thing. You get the money out of the thing.
Oh look.
No one really knows what set him off, but he's clearly out of control. And just when you think it can get any worse, he climbs over the counter, gets way too close to the employees, and starts throwing punches and tossing things around. This shoplifter took off running from the cops, but when they finally caught up to her, she pulled out the most ridiculous excuse to try and avoid arrest.
Get off the bike or you're gonna be tased! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Damn! Get on the ground! Damn, you don't understand! Get on your stomach and get on the ground!
Can you please my call back and show me around to 702.
Turns out, she was no stranger to the store. She knew the manager well, which probably means this wasn't her first time getting caught. Her excuse? She claimed she only had one lung and needed medical attention. Convenient, right?
Put your arms out!
I only have one lung, man.
Put your arms out.
I only have one lung.
Well, you doing pretty good running from me.
Guys, I'm so... Please, Trevor. Please, Trevor.
I gave you an option. I gave you plenty of opportunities for the last hour in the office. Here you go, man.
Please.
I'm sorry.
Hold on 1 second.
Listen, stop.
I know, but
I'm gonna set you up on your side, okay?
Yes, sir.
Get on your knees.
702 games. We got 1, 10, 15.
I'm so...
I thought you had a cuffed up.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
You're the only one on the promise.
Listen.
Show you my incision.
Put your feet under you. I'm gonna help you get
You
out.
need EMS?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Please, I'm not lying.
Okay.
Please.
Have EMS from out. Got one conscious breathing female complaining of being short of breath.
Here you go, man.
Trevor, please.
So I'm gonna go get you action code 9, which will show everything she stole.
You can give it to him.
Give it to him.
Say, what are you doing?
Have a wonderful night.
We'll get with you in just a second, okay?
You're not fast. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't
Is this the same person?
From earlier, from 2:30 this morning, or 2:30 this afternoon.
I'm sorry. What's your name? All right, Miss Victoria. You know exactly why we're here, right?
Yes, but he had told me that if I cooperated and did everything that he asked me to do, that all he needed to do was have a service officer come out and trespass me, and then I would be on my way. And I said, okay, well, if you know, I will until you give me some reason, I'll believe you, and I will cooperate.
Let me ask you this. Why were you stealing from Walmart? Be honest with me.
Because I don't have any money here, and that's why I had my food stamps, and they returned my food stamp card.
You've been in here for like 6 hours.
Yeah, my phone died, and my ride left me.
But you was huffing. Why you was huffing the whip?
What do you know? Seriously.
It's on camera.
What do you mean?
When you take aerosol and you huff it,
They got you on camera.
I was smelling the scent.
Oh, you weren't huffing it?
No.
Okay. Well, what hurt?
What do you mean what hurt?
You called, you know.
I only have one lung. And when he was like, and I was trying to tell him, I said that to him also. Sir, I said, I can't run from people that have one lung.
Thankfully, EMS arrived just in time, though sadly, they weren't able to magically regenerate her missing lung to help her with future shoplifting attempts.
She got one lung, she was running from us, so she out of breath. Okay. Oh wait, no, I never put my knee on you. No ma'am.
We're not here for that. How do you feel? Other than the one lung, what kind of medical do you have?
So what y'all feel here? She going to jail. Once they say they want to hear that.
After checking her out, they medically cleared her, but they never confirmed if she actually had just one lung. What they did find, however, was about 6 grams of narcotic paraphernalia in her purse, which might explain why she was so convinced of her condition. In the end, the mystery of her missing lung remains unsolved, but what isn't a mystery is the fact that she tried to steal $1,573.24 worth of merchandise. She was hit with charges for retail theft, possession of controlled substances, and resisting arrest without violence. Imagine chilling on your couch late at night just trying to unwind before bed when suddenly you find yourself living a real-life horror movie. That's exactly what happened to TikTok user Carter V one night in February 2024. In the video, Carter is sitting in his dimly lit living room, recording something in the distance. Whatever he's seeing has him completely frozen. He even captions the clip saying he knows he shouldn't move, but he's too terrified to budge. And honestly, watching this, you can't blame him. But things only get worse. Later that night, just when he thinks the worst is over, he's hit with another scare. One so intense you can actually hear his breathing grow heavier as panic sets in.
Who's there?
And then, out of nowhere, his piano starts playing by itself. Even creepier, the song appears to be a Runaway by Kanye West. At this point, Carter is officially done. He bolts outside, and when he turns back toward the house, something strange is still happening inside. A little while later, he posts an update, a photo of himself grinning as he moves out of that nightmare of a house. And honestly, good for him. Can't blame him for getting out of there, hoping that his new place is way less haunted. Delivery riders deal with all kinds of challenges: bad weather, tough roads, tight schedules, and costly vehicle upkeep. But one of the scariest risks they face is something like what happens in this shocking clip.
These niggas hit the truck, okay? Look, working right now. Oh my god. These niggas hell, man.
A driver is caught completely off guard as a group of thugs raids the back of his truck, stealing packages right in front of him. Left stunned and helpless, all he can do is watch as his cargo disappears. A terrifying accident went down at an aluminum manufacturing plant, and honestly, it's a miracle that the worker made it out alive. Pure luck? Maybe, but having quick thinking coworkers definitely helped.
Boom!
Just imagine, molten aluminum burns at insane temperatures, and watching this unfold, it's hard not to think of the worst. But in that split second, his friend didn't hesitate. He yanked him back from the brink of disaster. Thankfully, the story has a happy ending. Only one person was injured, and thanks to fast action, he was rushed to the hospital in time to make a full recovery. On January 25th, 2017, a young girl named Emma Oakley uploaded what seemed like an innocent video to her YouTube channel, just her and her brother messing around, dancing in front of the camera. At first, it's exactly what you'd expect, two siblings goofing off, having fun, but as you might have guessed, things take a seriously creepy turn. Everything is lighthearted until it isn't.
Ouch! Hello? What's it?
Out of nowhere, a deep, eerie voice comes through Emma's computer, stopping both her and her brother dead in their tracks. You can actually see the moment their excitement turns to pure shock. Neither one of them knows what to do or where the voice is coming from. And then, just like that, the video cuts off, leaving everyone wondering what just happened and who or what was speaking through her computer. The voice itself is hard to understand, but whatever it was saying, it definitely didn't sound friendly. While Emma continued posting videos on her channel after this, she never directly addressed the incident, just left it hanging as an unsolved mystery. One Reddit user theorized that someone might have hacked into Emma's webcam, which is absolutely terrifying to think about. If true, that means there are people out there breaking into kids' devices just to scare them, or maybe something even worse. If nothing else, this video serves as a chilling reminder why parents should be keeping a very close eye on their kids' online activity. Flames engulfed the Tennessee home, and Joanne Armstrong was trapped inside.
Can't get up and I can't breathe, hurry up!
She had just made sure her 10-year-old great-grandson got out safely, but before she could escape, she collapsed in her bedroom. Luckily, she still had her phone.
You do see flames, correct? Oh, honey, you think it's got the whole bedroom on fire.
Through the thick smoke, she managed to call 911, and firefighters raced to the scene. Using a ladder, they climbed up to her bedroom window and pulled her to safety.
They said that there was zero visibility. Zero visibility. They were feeling their way basically around to find her.
Joanne survived, but she suffered third-degree burns, a brutal reminder of how close she came to not making it out.
They knew she was in there. They went in anyway and risked their own lives. And I can't thank them enough for saving her and getting her out of that house.
A Marine took to Reddit to share a chilling personal story about his own UFO experience. But it turns out the fascination ran in his family. According to him, his grandfather, who was a minister, once had a terrifying encounter that he kept secret for years. One night, his vehicle was suddenly engulfed in a bright light. His radio went haywire, and a strange flame-emitting object hovered above him. He never told many people about it, fearing ridicule, but the memory of that night haunted him. Years later, the Marine decided to fact-check the story with his grandfather's friend Jay, who had been there too, and sure enough, Jay was still shaken by what they had seen. The Marine's interest in UFOs had started after his own bizarre experience at age 16, which led him to dive deep into researching UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Fast forward a few years, and he found himself working security at a music festival where he met another Marine, T. They bonded over shared interests, especially UFOs, and that's when T dropped a bombshell. He had actual footage of something unexplainable. T had been doing a high-altitude jump when he noticed strange white orbs zipping past him at impossible speeds. He panicked, because whatever those things were, they weren't part of the plane, weren't parachutes, and definitely weren't anything normal at that altitude. Another jumper had captured the whole thing on a GoPro, confirming what T had seen. Now let's check out the footage. It's wild. So wild, in fact, that the comment section is full of people freaking out over how incredible it is. And for once, there aren't a ton of skeptics trying to dismiss it. Interestingly, one sharp-eyed commenter even figured out that the footage was taken over Laurinburg, North Carolina. As time goes on, hopefully, we'll get more answers about this mind-blowing sighting. But for now, this video remains one of the most fascinating pieces of UFO evidence out there. The next video is absolutely unreal. It happened at a construction site where excavators and trucks were doing their usual thing until something terrifying went down. And the craziest part, no one even realized it at first, not even the excavator operator. Here's what happened. A worker standing too close got scooped up by the excavator without anyone noticing. Within seconds, he was completely buried under the sand. Thankfully, he managed to free himself just in time and raised his hand for help. Honestly, it's chilling to think what could have happened if the operator hadn't spotted him. This wild footage comes from late December 2023 in a small town in Bangladesh. A collision between a truck and an SUV nearly ended in disaster for everyone nearby, but one man in particular had the closest call of his life. Watch closely as he walks along the roadside, completely unaware of what's about to happen. The SUV suddenly swerves into the truck's lane, both vehicles barreling toward each other at dangerous speeds. Then, suddenly, the crash happens right next to him. Somehow, he escapes by mere inches. Honestly, this is the kind of moment that sticks with you forever. What do you think? Pure luck or just a miracle? If you're cruising down the freeway on icy roads with low visibility, what's your move? Do you slow down, pull over, or just keep going like it's a regular day? Well, these folks went with option 3, normal speed. And yeah, you already know where this is going. The second you see a video like this, you just know something bad is about to happen. Maybe that gut feeling will come in handy one day. Who knows? This pileup involved 19 cars, all passenger vehicles, but somehow everyone made it out with just a few minor injuries. This heart-stopping moment happened on a bridge where traffic has to stop to let boats pass underneath. Let's break it down. A young boy on a bike tries to beat the barrier, pedaling fast to make it across in time, but oh no, he misjudges it. He crashes into the barrier, wobbles uncontrollably, and before anyone could react, he tumbles straight into the ravine below. Watching this, it's impossible not to imagine the worst. Those massive bridge mechanisms could have turned this into a tragedy in seconds. But somehow, miraculously, he makes it out unharmed. Nearby people rush to pull him to safety, and just like that, he escapes what could have been a nightmare. If luck hadn't been on his side, this could have ended very differently. This next eerie video comes from a YouTuber known as MK, who uploaded it to their channel on January 9, 2024. In the description, they provided a detailed backstory that makes the footage even creepier. Here's what they had to say. I was sitting in bed with my laptop, casually playing bingo while the TV played in the background, when I suddenly heard a disturbing noise coming through my open bedroom window. I muted everything immediately, but after a few moments of silence, I didn't hear anything unusual, so I shrugged it off, turned everything back on, and kept playing. Then I heard it again. This time I got up and went to my window. At first, all I could hear was an owl hooting, but then I caught another sound that sent chills down my spine. A disembodied horse neighing somewhere close to my house. I quickly turned off the TV, grabbed my phone, and started recording. The longer I listened, the more I realized the sound was coming from inside our barn, and that's when the fear really kicked in, because we don't own any horses. MK went on to explain that their home is an old farmhouse, over a century old, located deep in the countryside. It was originally a horse farm, which only made the situation even more unsettling. The house is isolated, surrounded by farmland, with no close neighbors. Their family had lived there for over 7 years and had experienced plenty of unexplained activity, but this was the first time they had ever captured anything on camera. As MK recorded the bizarre horse-like sounds coming from the barn, things escalated. They claimed to have seen a ghostly, translucent figure pacing along the driveway. It moved around for a few moments before vanishing near the barn. Then, as if that wasn't already spine-chilling enough, a mysterious bright light suddenly appeared above the trees, making the whole experience feel almost surreal. And if you look closely at the footage, you might notice something even stranger. What appears to be the faint outline of a horse's head moving around near the barn. Despite this video being posted over a year ago, MK has never given an update on what happened next. In fact, this was the only video they ever uploaded to their channel. Whether they just wanted to share this one eerie experience or something scared them away from posting again, we may never know. This mystery, it might just stay unsolved. You never know when disaster might hit, and the guy in this next video learned that the hard way. That's why it's always a good idea to stay cautious. According to reports, this happened in China just before the strongest typhoon in 2024 made landfall. Local authorities had urged everyone to stay inside because of the dangerous winds, but this man decided to take his chances, and it almost cost him. Safe to say, this is a lesson he won't be forgetting anytime soon. Life is unpredictable, so it's always better to play it safe. Over on TikTok, a guy named Seth A. Burden, who goes by Seth the 7-Year Witch, posted a video on July 17, 2023, sharing a pretty wild story. He recently bought a guitar from a garage sale, snagging it from an old lady a couple of weeks back. So far, nothing too unusual, right? But here's where it gets weird. Seth claims that every single time he picks up or strums the guitar, strange things start happening.
It's some Lotus, like very 80s looking guitar, and every time I strum, like that, shit like that happens every time I mess with this thing. Shit like that.
To prove his point, he moves over to the instrument and gives it a strum. And watch this, the moment he plays, the lights in the room begin to flicker. He strums it again just seconds later, and sure enough, the lights start flickering once more. But this time, as if that wasn't enough, a cup on its table suddenly gets knocked over out of nowhere, leaving him totally baffled. Unfortunately, Seth never posted any follow-up videos, even though tons of people in the comments are begging for more details. We might never know the full story, but if you ever find yourself tempted to pick up a random instrument at a garage sale, you might want to think twice after watching this creepy video. Passengers aboard a FedEx Airlines Boeing 767 lived through a real-life nightmare when the plane was forced to make a belly landing at an airport in Istanbul, Turkey. Photos and videos flooding the internet captured the tense moment. The aircraft touched down with only its rear landing gear deployed, leaving the nose dangerously tilting toward the runway. As soon as it became clear the landing gear had malfunctioned, firefighters and emergency crews rushed to the scene, bracing for the worst. It was a heart-pounding moment no one on board will forget. On November 22, 2023 in Seattle, Washington, a suspect in a drive-by shooting was successfully pursued and caught by the Seattle police with the use of air assistance from the Kings County Sheriff's Office. It happened not too long ago after 2 p.m. near the intersection of South Lucille Street and 4th Avenue South, where police found a car they thought might have been involved in the drive-by shooting. The car, which had been reported stolen, was connected to another suspected break-in. The car quickly took off when the police tried to intervene. Officers used a pit maneuver in the 900 block of Airport Way South to stop the car after the chase. Unfortunately, we are unable to display the violent content due to YouTube's guidelines. A female passenger was identified and released when the male suspect was captured. Thankfully, there were no reported injuries during the occurrence. 3 canines that were unharmed were found inside the car along with many guns. The male suspect, 32, has been charged with drive-by shooting, escaping authorities, and possession of a stolen car. He will be placed under investigation and lodged in King County Jail. Seeing a child in danger in any way is undoubtedly upsetting. Imagine a little child who has already had a turbulent day and is left alone in a parking lot that is dark and dismal.
Hey, sweetheart, you okay? Come here. Come here. She's okay. She's okay. She's getting warm. You're okay, baby?
It was earlier stated that the girl was still inside her mother's car when it was stolen. But in the middle of this hopeless situation, a positive development occurs when a policeman finds the girl sitting by herself in the shadows. The child, cold, still, and perhaps scared, finds solace in the officer's presence.
Yeah. Oh, my God. You said warmer his ear. Are you okay, sweetie? Hi, baby girl.
it is discovered that the mother of the child had made the dangerous decision to leave her briefly in the car while performing an errand. This tragic event serves as a sobering reminder of the risks involved with leaving kids unsupervised in cars, a behavior that far too frequently has disastrous results. This time, the car burglar fled with a stolen automobile and the young girl inside. But as mother and daughter are happily reunited, their ecstatic cries reverberate across the room, setting off an emotional finale. The fact that the toddler made it back to her mother's arms safely emphasizes the significance of being alert and never leaving kids unsupervised in cars, not even for quick errands. Are these apparitions or trespassers? YouTuber Joe Weller and his friend Elliot visit this creepy assisted living facility, but strange things start happening even before they enter.
I heard that, did you?
They conjecture that there might be squatters on the property.
If there's anyone actually living here, we don't want to we won't turn you in or anything. We just don't want to disturb you. We're not going to tell anyone you're here.
Their attempts to move forward are met with no success.
Good evening. Who goes there? Off. What was that? What was that? What was that? There's a... Okay.
Finally, they decide to leave, not knowing if the noises are caused by poltergeist activity or by human intruders.
Hurry up. You need to take some shit, bro. You need to take some shit.
Considering the possible risks involved, it makes sense that they decided against taking any chances. This dashcam video captures the story of a dog found injured on the roadside on Christmas Day. The driver, David Loop, noticed the animal and stopped to help.
I passed what I thought was a deceased dog because he was on the shoulder and I thought he had been hit and, landed by the sound wall. And I have a microchip scanner. I was going to scan him for a microchip and hopefully give some closure to the owners.
Recognizing the dog's critical condition, he promptly transported it to a veterinary clinic.
As I walked up to him, his little lip just fluttered with the breath. So I immediately called my rescue team. They met me on the side of the freeway and we got him on a blanket and transported him to the emergency vet. Come here, Nixon.
The dog, named Shiloh, received urgent medical attention for significant injuries. Facing a difficult decision, David opted for treatment instead of euthanasia.
I immediately thought this dog is going to need to be euthanized. I didn't think it was even treatable at the point.
Good boy, Shiloh.
Thankfully, Shiloh responded remarkably well and began to recover from his trauma. While Shiloh continues to heal and relearn basic functions,
Boy, I'm just going to let him get used to putting pressure on his feet.
He exhibits a playful and loving demeanor. Now under the care of an animal rescue organization, efforts are underway to locate his original owner. If unable to reunite him with his past family, a new forever home will be sought to provide Shiloh with a stable and loving environment. This happened in Guaíba, Brazil on August 12, 2019 and was uploaded to and covered by the YouTube channel Fact Faction. CCTV footage shows a group of cars approaching a stop sign before the unthinkable happened. A white sedan began to flash its hazard lights and vehicles drove around it. One of the vehicles in question was a fire truck, which would prove to be fate. Right when the fire truck drove by, the sedan burst into flames. Firefighters sprung into action, and it didn't even take them a minute to put out the fire. Pretty lucky, right? Strange scratching sounds from the basement would freak anyone out. Some people would call for help. Others, they'd grab their phone to catch whatever's down there on camera. That's exactly what two roommates did when one of them started hearing noises from a hidden crawl space in their house.
It could have been anything though.
Nah, I was scared, man. I heard noises. Fine, move this way.
Feel scary cat, dude. They could have been rats or whatever. What about if we got a whole bunch of rats?
The one who didn't hear the noises, totally brave. The one who did, not a chance he's going down there.
Are you going down there?
Hell nah.
There's a light right there, dude. You go down there while I record.
So his fearless roommate decides to check it out and prove there's nothing to be afraid of.
The light right there, the string. It's around here somewhere.
Both of the lights.
Hold up. I can't reach. Can't reach. I think I gotta step on that chair. There's a chair right here.
He squints into the darkness, and that's when he sees the scariest thing of his life.
Hold up. Oh shit! Says that?
At least 1 minute and 27 seconds into the video, you can barely make out a shadowy figure standing up to greet him. He lets out a scream, and the video cuts off before we know if he managed to escape. The title claims he caught a ghost lurking in his basement, but honestly, whatever is in that crawl space is terrifying, supernatural or not. What started as just another quiet night in a parking lot quickly spirals into chaos when two couples, fueled by anger, take things to a terrifying level.
Holly, him! Lock him up! You ain't worried about you ready to kill somebody behind us?
No, he in trouble. He crashed dumb enough. He crashed dumb enough.
Yeah, you damn sure ain't. You damn sure ain't. You damn sure ain't dumb enough.
You a rookie, nigga. I've been doing shit.
You damn sure ain't dumb enough.
You's a rookie, I promise you, nigga.
Hey, y'all get on, y'all go, come on.
Armed and ready to strike, both sides threaten each other in a tense and unsettling standoff.
Somebody's attacking me, nigga.
I got it on video though. I got it on video for you. You chill out on me. You chill out.
What's he gonna do tonight?
Hey,
I'm trying to see what he's gonna do tonight.
Baby, that's what
Hey, get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car.
right now.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Hey, bro.
Just when it seems like things are about to take a turn for the worst, a brave bystander steps in, managing to defuse the situation before it goes too far. This next piece of footage feels like something ripped straight out of a found footage horror movie uploaded to the High Strangeness subreddit. The video shows a cameraman filming a house and a massive tree behind it in the dead of night. Right away you can tell something's off. The street is eerily quiet, so quiet it almost feels unnatural, and within seconds, things go from unsettling to downright terrifying. Watch this.
This is the second time I've come over here, and the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me, and I still cannot figure out what it is. Look, they're ruining this freaking place. Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down. Something, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's gotta be I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and it doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. I think I'm gonna bounce because I think he just hit the ground, which means he's about to face me on foot. And I don't really want to wrestle with somebody that can tear trees down just because they're mad.
Suddenly, the tree begins to shake, branches snapping and cracking like something huge is moving through them. Then the uploader speaks, explaining that something up in the tree has been breaking branches off and throwing them at him. He also makes a chilling observation: whatever this thing is, it's way bigger than he is. And then it gets even worse. At one point, he realizes the entity is no longer in the tree, it's on the ground. That's when he decides, probably wisely, that it's time to get out of there. But the biggest question remains: what in the world was this crazily strong creature that could rip off entire tree branches without breaking a sweat? And more importantly, why was it throwing them at him? A shocking and downright terrifying video shared online on April 14th captures a scene so unreal you have to see it to believe it. Let's break down what a witness caught on their phone. According to the person who filmed it, a truck driver hit a motorbike, but instead of stopping, he sped off, dragging the victim's bike underneath a truck while the motorcyclist clung desperately to the side of the truck. As seen in the footage, the poor man was dragged for a horrifying 2 kilometers before the police finally stepped in. Furious drivers who witnessed the whole thing honked and signaled for the truck driver to stop, but he ignored them all. Hopefully, justice was served, because this kind of reckless behavior is beyond acceptable. In March 2024, officers were called to a Menards store in La Crosse, Wisconsin, after security reported a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot. The car had tape covering the license plate and even the make and model symbols on the back. Definitely sketchy. Security also noted that one person stayed in the car while the passenger, later identified as 40-year-old James, went inside a shop. Now, James wasn't exactly new to law enforcement. His rap sheet stretched all the way back to 2000, with a long history of felony convictions. An officer arrived quickly and approached the vehicle while other officers positioned themselves at both ends of the parking lot, keeping an eye on the store entrance without being seen. Meanwhile, security kept James in sight through video surveillance and stayed on the phone with the officers. What was James up to? Oh, just filling a cart with over $1,100 worth of goodies, including a chainsaw, a machete, and other construction tools. Instead of, paying, he decided to skip the checkout, sprint for the exit, and make a run for it. But karma had other plans. He kept tripping over himself, crashing to the ground while security chased him down.
40 to 480 is running west towards Lang. Are you kidding me? Does he have a mustache on? Stop. What are you doing? Your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. Stop tensing up. Feels good? Yeah. Is he running a big mustache? I don't know.
As officers were taking him into custody, the woman in the car suddenly sped off. But by then, James was already caught.
Where's that car? Hide something. Let's go get that car too. Here, you go check that car. Since Matt has them arriving together. Yeah. 41, we have Matt's with one male detained. What's her name? Roll on your side, man, so you can breathe. What's her name? I'm gonna try and stop the car that he showed up in. It's going to Island right now by Quick Trip. Roll to your side, dude. Roll to your side so you can breathe. Now let's sit up. Ready? James. That ain't your name. We're gonna find your name out, man. Why don't you tell us? This is James. All right, here.
In the end, he was only hit with misdemeanor charges for retail theft, resisting arrest, and obstructing an officer. And just a few days later, he walked free on a $0 signature bond. Over the next 5 months, James was arrested again, this time facing much more serious charges, including attempted battery, threats to an officer, strangulation, suffocation, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct. As for the Menards incident, James eventually pleaded no contest to both counts and was sentenced to 7 days in county jail, which by the time of his hearing, he had already served. In 2013, Kanye Quest 3030, a bizarre indie RPG, Send Kanye West to a dystopian future ruled by a Lil B clone. The game got some attention but quickly faded until 2015, when a shocking pastebin post revealed a hidden secret inside. The player had typed "Ascent" into a random prompt, unlocking a creepy, cult-like section of the game. It led to cryptic messages, eerie puzzles, and even a request for personal info, fueling speculation that Kanye Quest was a recruitment tool for a mysterious group called Ascensionism. For years, no one knew the truth until 2022, when Finding Yeezus uncovered the real story. The game was just a high school project by artist Clara Hope, and the hidden content was a harmless ARG she designed for fun.
I'm a musician and artist, and I created Kanye Quest 3030.
So, where does it begin for you?
For me, it began as a Year 12 project for high school. They wanted us to make like a major project for school, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video game.
The game wasn't even online, meaning the personal info went nowhere. In the end, Kanye Quest wasn't a cult. It was just the internet doing what it does best, turning a weird indie game into a full-blown conspiracy. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant, friends.